Historical trauma. This phrase should be followed by a comma. It all could have started with your daddy or your mama. There's a lot of other places that can also cause drama, but let's be realistic and call it what it is, trauma. Safety, permanency, and well-being. Remember to check in with what your kid is seeing, because none of the above will ever be achieved until we first know what that child has perceived. Trauma can happen in the dark of the night. It can happen by watching mom and dad fight. Trauma can happen in the light of the day. It can happen while kids are out at play. And when you ask them what's wrong, they just don't know what to say. We need to get away from that PTSD label, because children with trauma are just not able to cope, to express, to feel, to see. So the behaviors occur and they do it to just be. Culture is always something to take into consideration. It can affect the way a child may have regulation, especially if trauma is a huge determination. Don't ever forget it, even if the case goes to termination. Here's a novel idea. Let's find a resource parent to match a kid. Because if we could do that, we just might get rid of the child that's gone completely wild. Because if it fits just right, it could be much more mild. Trauma doesn't happen from just one event. It can happen from the department and what we implement. Always remember to be forthright, because if a child doesn't know, he can freeze, flee, or fight. Walking right in for trauma training day 2, the emotional chain of custody shows the child's crew. It shows all the people in the child's life and really puts into perspective that intense amount of strife. Trauma-informed assessment can get a kid a label, so Medicaid can pay to get that kid stable, because without that money, we just won't be able to bring all of the right people all to the table. Trauma right now is a really sexy topic, and it can't be cured with an antibiotic. The only way to get to a place to implement is with an absolutely comprehensive, well-done assessment. Be aware of the child's feelings. Identify a trigger, because with that, a child's coping skills can get bigger and bigger. But the reality of it is it's never really over. The goal should ultimately be resilience and closure. No matter how you slice it, no matter what you say, we all deal with trauma every single day. You are all good people with big old hearts of gold, strong, sensitive, especially bold. Take care of yourselves and do yourselves right. We're all in this together, so we've got to stay tight. I've got your back, you cover me. When you walk out that door, you set yourself free. Because when you walk back in, you can mend another family tree.